What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about Bluezelle today. This thing has been going down, man. It's been going down. Finally, it's going down. You know, I've been calling for it to go down for quite some time, and I was very convinced that it was going to go down because as we climbed higher, we had this volume just dying off, right? So when you see this kind of stuff, it's a pretty telltale sign that, yes, of course, man, I wish I was in it when it pumped 19% in a day, and then the following day it pumped another 13%. I wish I was in it for this overall move from low to high that was 90%, you know, but you're not going to buy the absolute low, you're not going to sell the absolute high. And it just kept moving, man. It was crazy. But the volume was dying off. I was very certain that we would get some kind of major reversal, and we're in the middle of a major reversal right now. And I think, you know, generally with this kind of profile, when you see an initial move up like this and you continue to bleed higher instead of bleeding lower, you actually bleed, you anti-bleed, you're absorbing blood to the upside. You're eating the blood of your enemies and you are gaining strength. When you see this volume dying off, you tend to revert back to where the volume was, which at its low point was down here at about 8 cents. If we take this low to high, that's also right where the golden ratio, the 618, is itself. The 6.9 is also down here. You know, we could go a little bit below it. In this golden pocket right here, the 618 to 6.9 area, that's kind of a general area that you find support in a lot of charts, in crypto especially. So seeing a low cap coin like this, go below its 382, go down to the 618, 6.9 area. That's not out of the norm. This shouldn't be a weird expectation, right? And then if we set this high right here, there's a little high. I'm gonna delete this real quick. You can see that there's this high right here, this little resistance zone. We also found support on it back here. You can see support on this line, resistance on this line right here. That's also like right in the middle, kind of closer to the 0.69, but right in this zone, this sweet spot zone. So again, if we go below 7.88 cents, which is where the 618 is, kind of at the low point of this here. If we go below that, don't be scared. It's, you know, it's fine. It's normal. It's just kind of how things happen. I very much wouldn't be surprised if we saw a bounce literally at this low point here, like quite literally at that low point, if not a little bit above it, maybe a little bit below it, something like that, but around this area, if not literally directly off of it. Like put a line there, like right there, man. Like we could genuinely see a bounce right off that line, but for more than just that, you know, it's also the golden ratio. But I do think we're going lower. Here we are at 13 cents right now, 13.3 cents from high to where we are now. That is a 39% drop. And you know, if you buy now, you're buying at a discount from the recent highs for sure. I'm not trying to convince you to do anything with your money. It's your money. You do what you want. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. If you lose money in this game, don't get mad at me. Just like if you make money in this game, I'm not going to come hunting you down for my money. You know, it's your money. You do what you want. You're a big boy. You're a big girl. You're a big whatever. Do what you want. Make your own decisions. My opinion is that it does go lower. If we're looking at the daily RSI here, you can see that we're not in the oversold zone. Anytime that we've had a move that has like ended a down move, you know, maybe we didn't have an amazing run like this, but you had a little uptrend here and then you started going down, whatever. Anytime you found these relative lows in your RSI, you've at least hit the oversold zone. Okay, you've at least hit it. You certainly don't bounce off of this area. You could. Anything can happen. Nothing's a guarantee. Nothing should be taken as a guarantee. But I very much would expect, especially coming below the 50 here, rejecting it to come lower, an area that we found support on before over here, resistance before over here. Bouncing right off this, I very much would expect that we go into the oversold zone. So looking at the daily, I do think that we have lower to go. And then if we cast an idea, let's paint a story here, right? Maybe we come down, maybe we go about that low. Maybe let's not even do that. Maybe we go as low as this one here, where we're barely in the oversold zone, just oh so barely in it. And then we come up. Okay, we have some kind of move up. It's still an overall lower high in the RSI, and then we come back down and we form a higher low, giving us bullish divergence, right? Well, it would only give us bullish divergence on this higher low kind of idea if we had a lower low in the price. So we might see something where, you know, once we hit the oversold zone, we bounce, we come up, we form a lower high in the price, and then we continue to go down and form a lower low, and then from there we run. And at the rate that that's drawn, that would put us at a low at about 10 cents. And maybe we don't go down. Maybe we don't go to 8 cents. Maybe we go lower, you know, who knows. We might not even have that bullish divergence present itself as I've drawn it. That's just kind of like a picture perfect idea if we were to have one. But it doesn't need to do that. You know, if we're looking here on this bottom, we didn't have bullish divergence here. on this low, let me see, I'm going to blow this up a little bit. We did have bullish divergence actually, and it continued to bleed lower. It didn't have a lower price. You know, we did wick lower, which again, you know, maybe we go down and we close around the 10-cent area, but we wick down to like the 9-cent, 8-cent area, something like that. That could happen. I definitely see that happening. You probably, on that note, if you're planning on buying down here, you would probably stand to gain from having limit orders instead of waiting to buy on a market order or setting your limit orders that day or whatever. I think that it is going to be a quick move. So having your buy orders set around this purple line in advance would be key. I'm going to go set my orders after this actually. I might set my orders anywhere from about 9.8 cents all the way down to about 8 cents. I'm not going to go lower than 8 cents. If it goes lower, cool, whatever. I'm happy to buy that because, man, I really think that Bluezelle has a chance, you guys. It's at 13 cents now. It has a chance of achieving a price of $100 by the end of this bull cycle. And that would be insane, man. That would be absolutely insane. That'd be crazy, right? Maybe even more than that, but we'll go over that in a second. But I do think we're going lower, right? First things first. I think that it's completely possible that we have a wick on the downside like this, you know, for our low point. So if you want to catch it, it's going to be very quick. So have your orders set in preparation for that. And you don't need bullish divergence every time you have a low, right? You don't need it. So again, that whole idea that there's bullish divergence, we don't need that. And it might, the lower it goes in this oversold zone, the bigger the move down is going to be normally. I guess this was the biggest move down and it was less low in the oversold zone than this was, but in relative terms, this was the biggest candle by far, and we saw a big move down into the oversold zone. We're seeing some relatively big candles now, you know, not too big. But we'd probably see a double-digit day if we got into this oversold zone, you know, a 10% drop or more in a day from the current price. That would be, I mean, a 10% drop today would take us down to about 12 cents, which 12 cents, again, is an area to, I think, pay attention to as well. From bottom to top, you know, the 382 is right there just below 12 cents. It's kind of in the middle of this overall like consolidation phase going upward here. It's a previous area of support, previous area of resistance. It would make sense, you know, that could suffice. I just think, you know, again, with this general formation and volume, you tend to revert back to where the volume was, which is all the way down here at like below 10 cents. So I do think somewhere below 10 cents, but above 8 cents, above, let's say above 7 cents is fair. 7 to 10 cents, somewhere in that range is where I think we're going. But things can change. Things can definitely change. What else did I want to say? Oh yeah, talking about it going all the way up to $100, right? So let's look it up. Let's look it up on CoinGecko. BLZ USD, not USD. I'm sorry. I'm used to TradingView. Number 358. It's a low cap coin. 56. Let's call it $57 million. Okay, 57 million. 10x would be 570 million. A 100x would be 5.7 billion. And a 1000x would be $57 billion. $57 billion is a lot of money, you guys. I say this, you know, when I talk about these numbers, when I talk about coins that are 1000xable, I always say, you know, that's a lot of money. $57 billion is a lot of money. But it's an achievable market cap in the crypto space, especially in one cycle, especially for a coin that has been around. This doesn't even show all of its history, man. BLZ USD right here on Binance. Especially for a coin that's been around since 2018, you know, it's more or less an OG coin. By the time that we see the end of this bull cycle, it will have lived through a bear market, a bull market, a bear market, and then its second bull market, forming higher lows throughout, having the most volume it's ever seen coming off of its all-time lows on this chart. And again, this chart's volume, the highest peak right here on a let's do it on a monthly basis actually. On a monthly basis, the highest peak here had a volume read of 1.3 billion Bluezelles being traded, right? And that was coming off the all-time lows. That was the most volume we ever saw, was 1.3 billion. But now if we use the BLZ USDT chart, which has less historical data, but there's more volume traded here, the most volume that we've ever seen for Bluezelle was 7.9 billion in the month of August, coming out of it, guess what? Its cycle lows, coming off its cycle lows. So both times coming off its cycle lows have where we've seen the most volume come in and miraculous moves afterwards, coming back to this more all-time historical chart. I very much think that a coin like this has been around for multiple bear cycles, formed higher lows, has had positive reactions both times. We're in the beginning, right? This phase right here that we're in, this is like right here. It's like right here, right? And then you had all this to go. You had literally all that to go. I very much think that a $57 billion market cap is possible for this thing. So we're at 13 cents. A 10x would be $1.30. A 100x would be $13. A 1000x would be at $113. Can this thing go above $100? Absolutely it can. I'm very excited about Bluezelle showing its strength the way it did, having this kind of run, man. While everything was going down, it just kept going up. Things were shit in the bed or going down or being uncertain. It was like, no, I'm going to certainly go up. It just kept doing its thing, man. Those are good, very good signs, foretelling signs for the things to come. And I just want to see, actually, from this high, I'm going to take this high into account to this low here. You know, your 1618 is all the way at $16. From the current price, that's a 100x in itself. Forget the 1000x. 100x is great, right? You take $100, you turn it into $10,000. That's great. You're not going to be upset with that. You can have very high risk with very low reward on this thing. To some people, $10,000 is life-changing money. To some people, $10,000 is, you know, it's not anything to cry over. But at the same time, I can't think of one person that would be anything but upset to miss out on a $10,000 opportunity. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, but literally just $100 could turn into miraculous money. I was talking about prices that were all the way up at $100, you guys. $16 for a coin that's been around this long, a market cap that would be like less than 10 billion still. I think that this thing has the legs, man. I really do think it has the legs. And maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't give us that dramatic price, you know, and you buy here at this current price, whatever, and it only goes up to the 1272, and instead of $10,000, your $100 turns into $2,159. You know, something like that. Like, oh well. You still made money. You still did good. I would be very surprised if it stopped there. But who knows? You know, like nothing's a guarantee. It doesn't have to go up this high, and it doesn't have to pull a 1000x, but it could. It really could. And you know, even more than that, it could pull more than a 1000x. But there's not really any fibs lining up there. I want to see from this high maybe to this low. Let's see what we're getting. Come on now. Again, a 100x would be around 13, so that's kind of in the middle of nowhere's land. Where a 1000x, this would kind of, you know, the 2886, that kind of lines up with it, but that's not a level that's respected too often, especially on longer term time frames like this. So, you know, I say 1000x, and I mean it. I mean everything I say, but I'm not betting the bank on it, right? Don't bet the bank on it. That doesn't mean sell the farm and put all your money into this thing, but it does have that potential, okay, to do that. Anyways, back to Earth now. Instead of talking about the moon landing or the Mars landing, you guys, we're going straight to Venus. I do think we're going lower. I think that we'll go somewhere around, again, like below 10 cents, but above 7 cents, somewhere in that range. And then from there, guys, we can start talking about more upside. You know, I don't know how high this thing's going to be by the end of this year. It has done unpredictable things in a very predictable way. I definitely didn't expect it to continue to go up this high. So it's got legs. It likes to run. Maybe we'll be at 45 cents. Maybe we'll be at 29 cents by the end of the year, something like that. But I would expect by the end of this year, we do see a new high relative to this one, which again, we've already dropped 39% from the current price. That would be a minimum of a 63% increase. Isn't math weird, guys? Isn't it weird? Like that's a 39% drop there from top to where we are now, but it's a 63% increase. Like you would think it'd be the same, but it's not. I mean, like I love math, man. Anyways, besides nerding out on that stuff, down first and then up, and then from there we will talk. But I'm putting my highest buy order is going to be at about 9. I'm going to do it 9.69 cents, and then maybe my lowest buy order at 8 cents personally at the lows of this here, and then something like right in the midst of this range. would make sense to me. That's what I'm doing personally. Again, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but if you guys want to invest in this thing, I do personally believe it's going to go lower. So take that for what you want. Do your own research. Do your own diligence. I like Bluezelle a lot, man. It's been around for a while. I liked it back in 2018, 2019 when it came out, and it made me hate it because it just kept going down, but I didn't pay attention to it in the last cycle, and it still did pretty well. Again, guys, we are seeing the most volume we've ever seen in Bluezelle's history coming off of these lows. It doesn't show it on this chart, but the Binance USDT chart where the most volume is does show us that, right? So most volume in this chart's history happened at this all-time low here, and then the most volume that's happened in Bluezelle's history, period, happened off of the recent cycle lows here. So I think miraculous things are coming, guys. Anyways, that's all I got for you. If you like the video, thumbs ups are always appreciated. Leave a like. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care. Bye.